Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the grain cargo container. Its very short, brief mission, to bring grain to the greedy bastards at headquarters. Yeah, we're in space, but we're not really in space. I'm viewing the camera from my base. Where'd my tab? There we go. Had my interface gone. I cranked the antenna range to 50K, and we can actually reach the cargo container out there. So I have an idea. Let's build a little bot cargo with engines and send it up there. We'll see if that works. I need to get this guy out of the way. We're going to build something on here. So that is the plan for today's video. Get a landing gear down, and looks like auto lock is on. That lock on, turn the dampeners off. It's good for a while. Basically picking up right where I left off with the last episode. I did go park the flyer. Haven't got anything built there yet. Let's see if we can get some grain up to HQ. So I'm thinking of building this pretty basic. And I have an idea. We're going to see if it works. So where is my... Here we are. Let's get a little connector here. Nope, that's wrong. So if I do that... should be able to build that and connect it up. And that will be the beginning of our build. Turn the lock on. Cool. So I basically just want a small bit of cargo and a whole bunch of engine. So let's start with a hydrogen tank, which is on one of these. Somewhere. Hydrogen tank? No, that's generators. What is sort is on one of these? Or not. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Alright, we'll set up our bar here. Get rid of those for now. Tank. That has all the tanks on it. That's what I'm looking for. So we want a hydrogen tank. I don't think we're going to need much. Can we get away maybe with just a bunch of small ones? I have an idea what I want to do. I don't have a design in mind, so this is kind of just free form, figuring it out as we go. So what if I did one of those? And then we could scatter some tanks around, maybe? Let's put a little box right there. That'll work. Okay, small hydrogen tanks. Wonder if that will even be enough. I'm thinking that's not going to be enough. Should probably go overkill. We do have the return trip to think of as well. Alright, so let's go for this guy. Nope, that's not right. There we go. Alright, I have a whole bunch of stuff in my inventory. What am I carrying here? What's of that stuff? A bunch of interior plate. 10 of each. And we're still not gonna have enough room, and I keep forgetting I can probably just pull most of these from here. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and set that to stockpile, so it can be filling up. Now we need some cargo and some ship on here. That will be the goal. So what can we do for cargo? Did just a medium cargo container full of grain. Thinking that will work. Do something like that we can kind of get up to here. There we go. Alright, how much grain will that hold? Can I hop over there? Whee! I can, but I missed. Alright, so if we come here and we say grain, then we have our grain storage. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm okay with that. It takes 1,687. It's not bad. Now, can we get that up there to space? That is the question. Kind of want to put another connector right on the front. But then that wouldn't look cool. Alright, so engine-wise, we need engines to get up into space, obviously. So let's get our small junctions. And let's put some thrusters all over this. We're also going to need some batteries. So let's go ahead and get our batteries on here. Could we get away with just a bunch of small batteries? Do you think? I don't know how much power we're going to need. Kind of think we'll just block off the ports here with batteries. Make this thing cheap because it may be a spectacular failure. We are for sure going to need an antenna. I know I saw an antenna on here somewhere. Let's say this is the quote-unquote top. Let's do that. And then I want a remote right up there. Nope. Right there's where I was going for. And then I kind of want a camera like right on the front. I don't know if that will work or not. Over here on my blocks so we're not wasting a whole bunch. And then can I jump? Oh, I made it. I have camera on here somewhere. There it is. Alright, I want a camera like that. I need steel plate to build camera. Indeed. How about Mr. Antenna? Can we get that welded up while we're here? Beauty. Alright, let's go flying. Oh, wait. We need some more stuff. We, of course, need a gyroscope. One should be sufficient. Stick one right there. And then we're going to need thrusters all around here. Let's get some batteries and we'll get them set to charging. There we go. I'm wondering, I know the remote has a built-in waypoint. So I'm going to try to do it with just a remote. I don't know if that's going to work. We might need some AI on here. Let's try it. This is an experiment for sure. And I'll probably forget something. That's okay. Hydrogen thruster. Yes, please. We want the, just these guys. You need steel plate. Yeah. And I've covered up my ports, haven't I? Steel plate. Yes, please. And some more interior plate while you're at it. And then we just need, we need a whole bunch of thrusters. And I'm going to go pure hydrogen on this one in the hopes that that will work. Okay, then this is quote unquote the top. So I think one set of side thrusters should be sufficient. So I think I'll just do this. For that way, and then should I do... Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. But I do need something going the other way. I need like an up-down, if we're thinking in perspective like the ship's looking that direction. We've got every direction except up-down. So I guess instead of doing that, I could do this on each one of these. That would get us all of our directions. This looks a little more awkward. That's okay. Awkward is this thing's motto. Now, I'm not sure. Will these 4 thrusters be enough to lift off? Maybe. It's a solid maybe. So let's fill up our build planner here. There we go. Start pulling out all the things. My welding sound has apparently gone missing. That usually fixes it. Just pull out your grinder and let it make its noise. Alright, so we need a little more stuff. We're getting there. Okay, got thrusters. Thrusters all around. Now I need some control panel access. So let's just put a control panel like right there. You need steel plate to build anything, apparently. Then I can access that. Alright, cool. So we need a connector. And I'm gonna say unlock. Is that a bad idea? Probably. Okay, and we're gonna put all the thrusters together. Actually, I'll just turn the... Yeah, let's make a group. So this is the grain delivery drone. There we go. GDD. Thrusters. Yes, please. Let's say this is the grain delivery drone. Okay. And we can hide those. Let's get some stuff reset. Don't need all the separate names on these guys. Yeah, let's get these all prefixed. Grain delivery drone. Beautiful. Alright, now we can reconnect this guy. Oh, I want the connector. There you go. Alright, now we can do thrusters off. I did forget to do the batteries as a group. So we'll save those. We'll set those to recharge for now. Okay, we're nearly there. We do need so the problem is the antenna on the small antenna here has like a 5 kilometer range. So I'm going to say show ship name. Oh no, it does go out to 50K. Yeah, I didn't think we'd be able to guide this thing all the way. That does use a lot of power though, doesn't it? That's the key. Yeah, let's keep that at what if we put it to like 1,000? Yeah, let's do that. And we'll hope for the best. So the idea is I can set in my chair there with the big antenna. And I can talk to this guy until he, gets going. And then once he gets close to the GCC up there, I'll be able to talk to it through that antenna via this antenna. That's the idea. It may end in disaster, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, so we have a camera on the front. We kind of need a camera on the back so we can dock this thing. So let's name this guy camera front. And then we need a camera down below. Let's go stick one on the bottom here. Yeah, man. So close to wanting to stick on there. Oh, there it is. I don't have any steel plate. Seriously? How do I keep running out of steel plate? I should keep welding stuff. Yeah, that's a fair observation. Okay, I want this on the bottom of the battery. Like so. And then I want to rotate it out like that? Yeah. And then we need some pooters. Come on. There you go. Nailed it. What else am I forgetting to add? Put in the comments below. We'll see if your production is correct. I think we might be about ready for a flight test. And this is as bare bones as it gets. I should probably I should take the grain out in case I crash and burn. But then I'll forget to put the grain back in before I leave. So that would be bad. Alright, large cargo. We want just you. We want to hide the empty. How do we get a stray computer in there? Tiny Miner 3. Going after some more ice, it looks like. Okay. I think might be about ready for a maiden voyage of the SS. Oh crap. Alright, so if I do a Shift K, I can do the it looks like it's probably a small grid. Why can't I view you? Antenna is on. Yeah. So it should show... See, I should be able to connect to that. No remote controller on grid. It doesn't think that's the remote controller. If I do that, I think it's confused. Is there another? I don't know if I have another remote control on here. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do GT batteries back to auto. And then I can disconnect the connector. Now, can I see it? Yeah, there it is. Grain delivery drone. Sometimes connectors and subgrids, they get confused with things. Alright, so I need some setup on here. So let's do groups. I've got all my thrusters. We'll put those on a block. Got all my batteries. We'll put those on here. So we're going to say recharge on off. And then my connector, go ahead and put on here. And I'll say switch lock. There we go. Now I should be able to lock up and unlock. And we're still in command of the stuff. I can turn my thrusters on. And, oh, my tank, stockpile. The hydrogen tank is in stockpile mode. There we go. Okay, we can fight the magnetic pull of the connector, so I think we might have a winner on our hands. Let's go ahead and connect back up. Let's set those to recharge. You can turn those back off. And then if I go look at my batteries, how are we looking here? Fully recharged in 5 minutes. Perfect. All right, disconnect from that. And then, actually, before I disconnect, or before we go, I need to go look at the remote control. And then, I'm not 100% sure how this works. Assigned camera would be camera front. Speaking of camera, I want to say that is camera rear. Okay. Remote. Oh, he's probably getting confused between these tiny miners remote controls because they were docked and it's on the same grid. That's why he's getting confused. Alright, so what I was wanting to do is set this to one way. I don't know how we tell it to go versus not go. You know what I mean? This is the main remote control, I guess. So I wanted to set it to flight mode to one way and then add the... Are these not in order? I want to add this as a waypoint. And tell it to go. That was the plan. Is it a good plan? I'm not sure. We can try, though. So we'll go see if there is an action on the remote, maybe. So if we go here and we say control, if I go here and I say GDD remote, oh, just autopilot on off, maybe. I think that's what does it. Cool. There's just no like control in the control panel for it. All right. Well, let's see what happens. Let's get inside out of this rain. I'm not even going to put an event controller or anything on it for the batteries. We'll just pretend like it's going to work. Alright, so on this guy, I can go to external view on this station. Can I get a view that's not stupid? That's the next question. The space engineer's camera can get, can get very confused. Okay, well, we'll call that good. We'll drop a save. And we'll see if we can launch. So I want to go to here. And it's not going to let me control it right. So let's instead put a link on our page of remotes here. I'll put this guy over here on the end so we know it's different. And I want to say control. Now if I hit 9, I'm in control of the GDD. And I can set my batteries to auto. Let's make sure they're charged. So if we go to this guy, yeah, it's just almost charged. Stored power is 47. Do we have enough battery to get to space? Unknown at this time. Possibly. Let's see what happens. I don't know if this is even going to work. But since the GCC is like straight above my base, I'm hoping it kind of will. Also, my hydrogen tank, it is full. All right, cool. So, well, I mean, let's try it out. So we'll go back to auto on that. We're going to say unlocked. We'll even turn the thrusters on for good luck. And then I'm going to turn the autopilot on. Or not. Oops. Remote control. Autopilot. No, it doesn't want to. Doesn't want to do that. I do have flight mode set to one way, and I have a waypoint. But it says no autopilot. Okay, well, I need to do some research. So, ooh, this thing is sprightly. Let's go ahead and get back here on our dock. There's something I'm missing about the autopilot. Alright, so turn thrusters off, batteries back to recharge. Let me go do some research real quick, and we'll hopefully pick back up. Okay, I grounded off and re-added it, and then I added a waypoint, and now it has that on there. I don't know why, but okay. Let's try this again. I am going to go ahead and set the camera to the front. So when I switch to that camera view, I can just see from the camera. So if we go to GD remote, I ground it down, so I have to replace it here, and we'll say control. Boink. There we go. All right. Control that. Now I got to set up my stuff again. So we want groups of thrusters. So we'll say that guy. And we got the batteries. Set those on here. And then I want my GTD connector, toggle lock or switch lock. And then my remote control, I'm going to put back on here, and we'll say autopilot on off. And I'm controlling this again, so let's set our thrusters on. Batteries to auto. Switch to lock off. Get some altitude. Hit the autopilot. It doesn't turn on again. Classic. I suppose it's grayed out again. Yeah, it's grayed out now. I don't know why. It was a good idea. It's got a waypoint. Not sure what's up with that. It just immediately turns off. Is it because I'm not is it because I'm not technically connected through the antenna? Is that what's going on? That could be. Let's see. We need to go. Let's go down, back down here. Let me test that. I forgot I connected through the terminal, so that might be affecting it. All right, so let's park, recharge the batteries, turn the thrusters off. And I want to set in this chair. And then I see, I can't control it through the antenna when it's docked. Do I need to undock it? And then take control of it through the antenna, maybe? We go into hover mode, and then we come out of here. Then I do Shift K, and I say, grain delivery drone. No remote controller on grid. I mean, I beg to differ. It has a remote control. I'm connected over the thing. Why are you being weird? Why can't you just do stuff? Hey, there it goes. That worked. I want to go to... Oh, did I grind off my spotlight? Now I got to resync it. I'm thinking that didn't work out. Sweet. Remember that save I made? Yeah. I think the remote control had some issues. I still can't connect to it for some reason. It doesn't appear to be flying towards the GCC, which is literally right up there. Well, let's see if we can say autopilot. No! Almost had it. Autopilot off. There we go. Yeah, why can't I connect to this thing? My suit's antenna is on. I'm standing right next to it. Oh. It sees it, but it says no remote controller on grid. Which doesn't make any sense because the remote control is right there on the grid. Well, that's too bad. Alright, let me go to here and then say thrusters off. Huh. Let me do some troubleshooting and I'll be back. Okay, well I figured out one problem. This grain is really heavy. I didn't even think about that. I thought, oh, it's grain, it can't be that heavy. Yeah, it even with 2 gyroscopes, I can't flip this thing back over. So it needs a redesign, I guess. I guess the grain should be on the bottom, maybe. I don't know. Or just needs a bunch more gyroscopes. It can't. Yeah, it can't control itself because the grain is so heavy, apparently. Yeah, I still don't know why I can't connect to it. It insists that there's no remote controller on the grid, even though there is. So yeah, let's try throwing a bunch more gyros on here, and then we're probably going to run out of battery power. But let me throw a couple more on here. See if we can get this thing upright. I didn't think about the grain being that heavy in relation to like the rest of the vessel. But apparently it is. So that's a thing. So if I go here, I can go to the remote control. I can control. And then... then we can fly again. Come fly with me. Alright, that's kind of the front. Oops. What's happening? What's happening? Oh, crap. I'm getting eaten by a wolf. That's what's happening. Thanks for the free meat delivery. Yeah, I think it's just too bottom heavy. Even with a ton of gyros on there, it just doesn't seem to want to fly very good. And I really don't understand the whole remote not being available thing. It was a good idea, but I think I might have to just not do that. Control. That's what I wanted to do. Come back out of that. And I keep damaging stuff. So yeah, it can't quite get up on its own. It like sort of can. Yeah, we lost a thruster here. So it couldn't stop itself going that direction. See if we can fix that before it drifts off again. Super cheap, no redundancy anywhere. Weird stuff happens. There we go. Didn't notice that thruster was missing. Can I get it back over to its thing? It really just stinks not being able to control it. I wonder if I like reload it, if that would make it better. Maybe it's just being kind of silly. Let's add like 2 more gyros to it. See if that will help it control it. I might try just sending it on its way again. We can always grow more grain, right? Just don't tell HQ. Okay, how are we looking on the tank here? No, that's the gyroscope. Yeah, still got like 87%. Let's just go for it. I'm standing a little too far away. Trying to get fried by the thruster here. There we go. Remote control. Actually, let's do this. Let's go to thrusters. Get that guy added into the group. Oops. Can't power that off or anything. I did turn on collision avoidance. Good luck, little guy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Okay. That didn't work. So it tilts over too far because of the grain up top, and then it doesn't have enough thrust to maintain. So it needs more thrust. I need a button to turn the autopilot off. That would be handy. Yeah, trying to get on this autopilot off. Thank you. Now I busted the thruster off again. Oh boy. I think I need to haul this thing back with the ship probably. I have to go back to the drawing board. It almost works. I think if I had more thrusters around it now with the extra gyros, it might be able to recover. But I might also just need to do a complete redesign. So, a bit of a fail. But I don't know if I'm quite ready to give up yet. I might just do a redesign. Need to get this guy back over on the platform so we can rebuild, get the grain out of it and rebuild it. So let's go grab the... Will the flyer be able to pick this thing up? It's pretty tiny. We can try. Let's at least get it over closer to the pad. Whoa, where's he? Speaking of cheap and bare minimum. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Hit the wrong button. Let me see if I can get this flipped up right, actually. It's such a pain not being able to control the antenna. yeah, I need to turn the thrusters back on. Yeah, rebuild, and then hopefully we can have it not drift away. I think I'll take it to the dock with the flyer. Alright, remote control, control, and then tilt this direction. And can I set on my butt? There we go. Inertial dampeners are off. See if we can pick it up with the flyer. We grab it by the camera. That seems kind of inconsiderate. Let's see if we can get in here. Grab it and lift it up. Oh yeah, we can lift it. Good job, little flyer. Then let's just, we don't have a whole lot of reverse stopping thrust. So we're just gonna kinda ease on over to the landing pad over here. There we go. And then I want to... Will it tip over if I just let go of it? No, the magnet's going to hold it there. Perfect. Alright, let's get the auto lock back on. We'll just land this guy right here. Beauty. Lock that up. Where's the top now? Put the batteries back to recharge. Show hidden blocks. Confused. Maybe I didn't rename all the other hydrogen thrusters. Hydrogen thruster. Oops. Oh, I didn't name them GDD. Got it. Reset name. Now if we do GDD thrusters, if we do thrusters. Now I can pick the other guy and get it in the group. Perfect. Turn you guys off. Okay, you are slowly refilling. Let's get you all the way full. There we go. And then I need to get the grain out. So if I go here and then I go over to inventory screen. Let's say grain storage. So we're going to put you back in there. No? Something damaged? Why can't I? Oh, because it's right. Because I can't put into it. I can go pull though. Timer block grain pull 1. Start. That should pull a grain out of here. Not quite pull it all the way out. Rain pull. Trigger now. There it goes. Alright. That's all out of there. So, yeah, I'm going to have to rebuild this. Actually, how's our hydrogen tanks doing? Are they all full? We've got so much hydrogen. I kind of hate to waste this hydrogen, but I'm probably going to just tear this down and rebuild. Although the antenna thing's kind of aggravating me, so maybe we'll just mothball this, put the grain in there, and get up to space. Anyway, I might do a little more experimenting, a little more troubleshooting, and see if the antenna thing fixes itself. No remote controller on grid. That is just so weird. Let me try one more time. So if I go to batteries, I'm going to set those to auto. And if I disconnect this connector, should see that. Yeah, it just says no remote controller on grid. Very strange. Well, let me know in the comments, and if I get to read some comments before we record the next one, I'll see you. But I'm going to rebuild this. We'll try again. A little bit of a false start, but that's okay. That's what engineering is all about sometimes. Iteration. It's a good idea. I think I can pull it off. Just need a little bit of redesign. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care.